Hello everyone, Xeno What If here. Bring in part 3 of What If Reds and Blues goes to Remnant. Link down description of the fanfiction of this What If. Listen here YouTube. I do not own anything and this is not a scam. Chapter 5, Red vs. Blue vs. White. Remnant, Continent of Sanus, Kingdom of Vale. Captain Lavernius Tucker. Premise, the Whites are up to no good again, but Sarge plans to stop them. God. Shit. The Reds and Blues all groaned as they got on their feet. Apparently, teleporters work the same in every universe. God, I forgot how much teleporters suck. Tucker groaned in pain. You don't know half of it. Doc added. Wimps. Lopez chuckled. Robot body for life y'all. True Lopez. Griff replied. Tucker then adjusted himself before talking again. Alright, we should get moving. Hey, Tucker. Wash chuckled. Yeah, the Aqua Soldier replied. He noticed that his team was chuckling slightly as for Red Team. What's wrong? Tucker asked them, what's so funny? Tucker look at armor. Carolina muttered, trying not to laugh as well. Tucker looked down at his armor. Sure enough, it was covered in a mucky black substance. Are you fucking kidding me? Tucker shouted, what the fuck is this black stuff? At this point, everyone else was laughing out of control. Even Caboose, though it was more of a fake laugh. Tucker, don't worry. I'll help clean off your armor. Caboose said to him. Oh, I'll help too. Donut added. Oh great. Later. The Reds and Blues were now walking through the sage-green forest they found themselves in. Pine trees filled the scene. It was also slightly cold with frost on the ground, indicating that they were up north. You guys know you didn't have to spend too much time on the codpiece, Tucker said to the two after they helped him clean off his armor. That's just my sign of not letting another man down. Donut replied. I just helped. Caboose muttered. Hey guys. Carolina spoke up, we should probably find a place to rest for the night soon. She's not wrong. Sarge agreed, we're also gonna need a map, that way we can find out where Beacon is. Beacon? Locus asked confused. Beacon Academy. Simmons explained, it's a school to train huntsmen, Team RWBY lives there, or at least we hope they still live there. Simmons. Griff said to him, time works differently between universes. So for all we know, we could either be years in the future. Oh not that again. Tucker groaned. Locus then asked another question, Griff, you said train huntsmen. What are those exactly? They're warriors. Griff replied, apparently, they train to look out. Suddenly, a large black creature came out of nowhere and attacked the group. The creature roared and swung its claws at Simmons, who immediately rolled out of the way and fired his rifle at the beast. The bullets went right through the creature, weakening it. Carolina then delivered a powerful punch that was enhanced by her thrusters into the Grimm's guts. The creature fell to the ground with a large thud. What the hell was that? Wash shouted. That, Doc announced, was a Grimm. And you didn't let me have a shot at it. O'Malley added. That was Grimm. Carolina questioned, they all look like giant black bears. Some do. Simmons replied, from what we saw in Blood Gulch, they are Grimm that look like wolves, bears, pigs, even birds. Who knows what they also look like? If this one was here, then a more should follow. Tucker muttered darkly. I agree. Sarge said to him, the Grimm are drawn to negative emotions. So think positive fellas. I don't think it was us that attracted the Grimm. Locus retorted. Everyone looked at him curiously. Says the one who was once a murderer. Griff quipped. That was a misunderstanding. The merc grumbled. I know, just wanted to remind you. Suddenly, the sound of automatic gunfire filled the air. From the sound of it, it wasn't far. I think that brought the Grimm into this area. Locus explained. Yeah, no shit dude. Kai replied. Come on let's go. Tucker shouted, as he ran off in the direction of the gunfire. Later, the Reds and Blues were now standing on a large mountain overlooking a frost-covered valley. Locus and Simmons were both on one knee, each looking into the scope of a sniper rifle. What do you guys see? Tucker asked them. Looks like a village. Simmons muttered, some goons are attacking it. White cloths and face masks that look like Grimm. They have firearms and transportation. That must be causing the Grimm to be here. Carolina suggested. I got something. Locus spoke up, 3 individuals. One looks like the goons' leader, black clothes, and a funny-looking mask. He's got a katana sword as well. And the other two? Wash asked. One's male in his 30s. Locus explained. Red hair, hat, white coat, scarf, and a cane. The other is a girl that looks like Neapolitan ice cream. The goons are coming in from the north, the Grim are coming in from the south. Simmons added as he stopped looking through the sniper scope, so what's the plan? Who needs a plan? Sarge chuckled. Come fellas, it's time we use Red Team's signature Warthog maneuver. Sarge then ran off. You heard him. Tucker said to everyone, let's wing it. Everyone then followed suit. Pav change. Village entrance. Adam Torres smiled venomously at the sight of the human settlement being raided. This is how humans were supposed to be treated. Like the animals that they are. As slaves to the ever more superior race, the Faunus. Things were doing better for him since he made a deal with some special clients. Even with Blake no longer at his side, he knew he would succeed. Team A. Adam said into his scroll, round up all the humans for me. As you wish, Adam. Team A's leader replied before Adam ended. The bull. Faunus then turned around to his fellow business associates Roman Torchwick and Neapolitan. So this is what you do when you're bored, Adam? Torchwick questioned. It's better than just standing in the way of freedom, Torchwick. Adam retorted, causing Neo to roll her eyes. Once the humans are dead, you may take the dust. Enough to honor our contract? Torchwick asked. Enough to honor our contract. Adam repeated. Suddenly, Adam's scroll began to ring. The bull. Faunus instantly answered. This is Team C. We are taking heavy resistance. Over. They're Grim, my brother. Adam replied to him, do what is necessary to win. It isn't the Grim, Adam. The voice explained, it's Ga. The call then ended abruptly, catching Adam off guard. Brother. Damn it. What's going on? Torchwick asked him. Team C is taking fire. Adam explained, I'm sending more men, too. Adam started to trail off as a strange noise filled his ear. A cheery music beat started off low, and began to grow. Quote. What the hell is that music? Adam asked no one. His question was immediately answered by Torchwick pushing him to the side. Look out! The crime lord shouted. Ash and Neo pushed him to the ground. Adam looked up and noticed a green military vehicle with 2 front seats and a machine gun turret flying through the air before landing on the ground and driving off into the village, running over several of his men in the process. The bull. Faunus sneered in anger. Who are those guys? I don't know. Torchwick replied, but they're probably huntsmen. If they're huntsmen, call for the bullhead. Adam growled, we're leaving. If you insist. Torchwick muttered. Pav change. Red Team. Griff drove through the town like a maniac, running over any white-clothed goon he could see before stopping in the middle of the town square where most of the goons were along with their human hostages. Yahoo! Now that's what I call riding shotgun. Sarge quipped, as he blew guts out of a goon with his shotgun. Blammo. Ha ha. Excellent shot and follow-up one-liner, sir. Simmons said to his CO as he scouted for more enemies with the Warthog turret. Thank you, Simmons. Sarge replied, as he killed another goon who was trying to board the jeep. Now get to blastin'. Yes, sir. Simmons replied, and started to fire on any goon that came into his line of sight. Yeah, suck blue. And you too, white. Suck it, crackers. Crackers. Griff questioned, I thought you were Dutch-Irish. Fuck that. Simmons retorted, shut up and drive, bitch. Griff then started to drive around the village square running over numerous goons, while Sarge and Simmons did their own things. Oh-ho, you want some? How about this? Simmons taunted them, you like that? Yeah, I got plenty more here. Take that, ya honky motherfuckers. Alright guys, that's enough. Wash shouted from the roof of a nearby building, I think that's enough trolling for gentlemen. You sure? Sarge asked, I could go for a few more one-liners. No thank you. Carolina spoke up, we need to keep the civilians safe. You guys are gonna defend. Do we have to too? Griff asked. Yes. Wash replied, you guys already killed nearly half of these goons. Let us have some fun for once. Fine. Sarge grumbled. Griff then drove the Warthog off into the village, leaving Was and Carolina alone. One of them is still alive. Carolina muttered darkly. The duo walked up to a wounded goon who was holding his injured leg, which had a bullet wound from Sarge. Wash grabbed him by the collar and pulled him up. What are you doing here? Wash asked him, but the goon just snickered. Humans. He sneered, always straightforward. I won't tell you anything. Wash looked at him confused. What do you mean, human? I'm not your kind. The goon shot back. As a member of the White Fang, the Faunus shall run supreme across Remnant. We'll see. Wash replied before tossing him to the ground, leaving him to die. Suddenly, a gunshot came out of nowhere, catching the two off guard. A red sword then swung at Wash, who immediately kicked the attacker in the gut before Carolina delivered a spin kick to his head. The attacker slid across ground on one knee before coming to a full stop. He was a young man, maybe in his late 20s. He had red hair that was spiked backwards with brown streaks in it. A mask covered his eyes and nose, and he wore a black outfit with a red undershirt. But the biggest thing was that he had two bull horns on his head. You must be a leader of this White Fang. Carolina said to him. Your instincts are correct, human. He snarled at her, but I'm only the leader of White Fang in Vale. Who are you? Wash asked him. I am Adam Taurus. The now identified Adam replied, may I ask what a pathetic human like you is doing here? Just passing through. Wash said to him, but what makes you think you can steal from these people? These humans, like yourself. Adam explained, are animals, and I am setting an example for the rest of the world. In order to bring peace. You say, peace. Carolina retorted, but I think you mean the other word. She then got into a fighting stance. Adam groaned, typical humans. He then charged at the two with his sword. A 2v1 battle breaking out. Pav change. Donut, Lopez, and Doc. Mwahahaha. Yes. Dice Satan's minions. O'Malley laughed as he drove his alien motorcycle around the east side of the village, all while firing his rocket launcher at several Grimm that got separated by their pack. O'Malley. That's not very nice. Doc said to his alter ego. Shut up, it's the appropriate amount of nice. O'Malley retorted, taste oblivion you creatures of pure darkness. It tastes like Red Bull. Which in fact is disgusting. Ha 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 ha. Hey asshole. Lopez shouted from behind cover, watch where you're driving bitch. You nearly ran over me 3 times. At least try and take out the Grimm for once. A Grimm charged at Lopez, forcing the robot to shoot with his saw. Several Beowulfs charged at him. He jumped up in the air, enhancing it with his armor's thrusters, before delivering a powerful ground pound around the creatures, causing a huge shockwave knocking them all away. I will not let you cross the border. Lopez shouted. Several more Grimm took notice of Lopez and started to charge at him, only to get run over by Doc in the motorcycle. Man, I haven't had a killing spree since my last residency. He muttered out loud. Shut up, you work at a free health clinic. O'Malley retorted. An Ursa Major then roared as it approached Doc O'Malley, with the intention of killing him. Son of a bitch, son of a bitch. The two egos muttered at the same time, only for the Ursa to suddenly stop abruptly upon feeling something hit him. A glowing blue object was on his head. Is that a spider? Doc asked no one. What do you think, asshole? O'Malley shot back. The blue object exploded, blowing off the Ursa's entire head. The rest of the body then slumped to the ground. Doc, Malley and Lopez then looked up at the rooftops to see Donut standing there, grenade launcher in hand. 9 points you dirty whores. He shouted. He then jumped to the ground and smashed a small Beowulf with his hammer before pulling out his battle rifle and firing a 3-round burst into an Ursa. I love the smell of napalm at night. Donut sighed. We don't have any napalm. Doc muttered to him, and this isn't Vietnam. And it's not night time, moron. Lopez added. Oh, right. Donut replied before getting on the radio. Hey Tucker, we're all done over here. How's it going for you guys? Pav change. Blue team. Tucker slashed at a White Fang goon with his sword as he was on the radio with Donut. Going good here. He replied, get back to the town square. I think Wash and Carolina are gonna need the help. Copy that. Donut said to him. Donut always gets his man. Right, Tucker muttered as he dodged a goon attacking before stabbing him with his sword. He then turned to Kai, who was nearby firing at several goons with her SMG. Look guys, if you want to ask me out, just ask. She taunted at them. One goon then tried to stab her with a dagger, but missed. Hey, you nearly killed me, that's kinda hot. Kai muttered before grabbing him, and kicking him in the gut with her knee and slamming him to the ground with her thruster pack. Damn, not bad Kai. Tucker said to her as he approached her. I haven't been this sore since that makeout session with Mom. She muttered out loud. Yeah, Tucker replied, wait what? Kill the humans. A goon shouted as he charged at the two with several of his compatriots behind him. Oh shit, Tucker muttered. Just then, Caboose came out of nowhere and fired his assault rifle with the assistance of Freckles. Targets eliminated. Targets eliminated. Targets eliminated. The AI announced as each bullet killed a goon each. All while Caboose shouted. Bang, 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 bang. Caboose then stopped firing and lowered his gun. All hostile forces have been eliminated. Freckles said to the trio. Nice one Caboose. Kai said to him. Yes, I win. Caboose shouted. Hey, I just realized something. Tucker muttered, we're all that's left of the original blue team from Blood Gulch. Tucker, I knew that already. Kai said to him, how have you just realized this? Yeah, stupid Tucker. Caboose added. Oh give me a break. Tucker retorted, I carry this team now. Suddenly, Red Team showed up in their warthog at full speed. Griff stomped on the brakes, only to fly out of the driver's seat, and crash into a pile of crates. I told you to wear your seatbelt dirtbag. Sarge shouted from the warthog. Hey, we were in a hurry. Griff shot back. Simmons then looked at Blue Team from the Jeep's turret, how's it going here? We're almost done. Tucker replied, also please refrain from pointing that gun at me please. Whoops, sorry. Simmons muttered as he pointed the turret away from him. These dirty whites. Sarge growled, they're ruining everything. Whoa ho ho. Simmons muttered at Sarge's comment. I knew the day might come when the white team would raise its plaintive face on this world. Sarge ranted, they've done it in our universe, and they will do it again. The meta. Agent Wyoming. And the whites are back to take it all. Sarge. Simmons muttered, you're bordering on really offensive territory. Borders. Sarge questioned, huh? Whites don't care about borders. They go where they want. Take what they want. And leave nothing in their wake but indie rock and smoothie shops. Blag. Wait, isn't Donut lightish red? Tucker asked him, what does that make him? That's why Donut is our ace in the hole. Sarge replied, he's the only one who can walk between worlds, time as well. That makes him our white spy. Man, Tumblr is gonna hate this. Caboose muttered. He has to act white. Sarge continued, ski, take up golf, spend way too much time trimming your lawn. I'm pretty sure Donut is already one step ahead of you Sarge. Kai replied. He should also pop his collar. Sarge added. Sarge, I'm not sure. Simmons said to the Red Soldier, as your second in command I have to question the long-term strategy of this particular course of action. Simmons. Sarge said, I know this sounds crazy. But either I'm right, or I'm just an old man who's lost his marbles because he can't adjust to life outside the military chain of command, and continues to have increasingly absurd things to declare war on as a subconscious way of avoiding the sad truth that he no longer really knows who he is. Everyone looked at him. Quote. You want a sad thing? Caboose muttered. That is exactly how he acts. Yes. A voice muttered, how sad it is to see a broken man with no life ahead of him. Everyone looked up to see a man in a white coat, scarf, and hat standing on the rooftops. He had red hair, green eyes, mascara, and carried a cane. What the fuck? Simmons shouted, he sounds just like Doyle. But that's impossible. Tucker replied, Doyle died on chorus. Doyle. The man questioned, my name is Roman Torchwick. Now, it's been pleasant speaking with you all, but I must hurry back with the rest of my men. You're the one who attacked this village. Kai asked him. Not just me, my dear. Roman replied, me and my associates. Suddenly, Tucker noticed something appearing on his HUD's radar. He turned around and blocked an attack from a girl. The girl was short, standing at only about 4 feet tall. She had a similar design of an outfit like Roman's, except no hat and scarf. Her hair was brown and pink along with her eyes and clothes colors. Her overall design was similar to Neapolitan ice cream. Contact. Tucker shouted, as he took out his sword and started to slash at the girl. But instead, he hit glass, and her image just scattered away into pieces. The girl suddenly reappeared and hit Tucker in the back with her umbrella. knocking him back into his friends. She can turn into glass. Kai questioned. No, I think that was her semblance. Simmons replied, the people of Remnant all have them. Well, whatever the bitch is using, we should try and use it against her. Sarge said to everyone as he took out his shotgun. He turned around and noticed Griff standing behind him. Griff, you walking tater tot, Sarge said to him, where have you been? Trying to put my dislocated shoulder back in place. Sarge turned to his left and another Griff standing there. Griff, Sarge shouted, there you are, what the, if you're Griff, then who in Sam Hill is this? Suddenly, the first Griff pulled out the girl's umbrella and hit Sarge in the face with it. Ow, Sarge growled, why you little pest. I finally get ya Griff. The first then materialized into the girl from before, and got into a fighting stance. Grr, Sarge growled, I've always said I would never hit a girl. Well, screw that now. Sarge pulled out his combat knife and pistol and slashed at the girl, who blocked the knife with her umbrella. Sarge then fired his pistol at her. But the girl opened her umbrella and the fabric seemingly blocked every bullet. She was immediately hit in the back with something, as an explosion went off behind her. The real Griff was standing there holding his Griff shot. He fired several rounds from the grenade launcher, which the girl blocked 3 of them. One went off near her leg causing her to stumble slightly. Sarge then went up behind her and fired a round into her back. She took notice of this, and managed to block several more shots before Griff fired another grenade at the girl. She went flying into Sarge, who instead kicked her in the gut with his knee and then hit her in the face with the butt of his shotgun. Fight Neo! Roman shouted, fight my dear. Griff then went in for the next part of his fair share. This time he drew out his energy sword, an orange plasma blade that slowly turned cyan at the tips. He tried slashing at Neo, but like with Tucker before, she shattered into pieces of glass as Griff's sword made contact with her. Damn it, Griff hissed, where'd she go? Hey fellas, Roman said to them from the rooftops, with Neo now right next to him, look, I know it's been fun. But Neo and I need to get moving. Bye. Roman and Neo then ran off back towards the village square. Get back you coward. Kai shouted at him. Wash, you got 2 bad guys heading your way. Tucker yelled through the radio. You're gonna have to give chase. Wash replied, Carolina and I are having trouble, ow fuck. Come on guys. Tucker shouted at everyone before running back to the village square. With his team running behind him, and red team in the Warthog. Pav change. Wash and Carolina. Ow fuck. Wash cried as Adam delivered a punch into the ex-freelancer's side. Carolina fired her plasma rifles, each bolt was something Adam simply couldn't handle. While it wasn't aura-piercing, he could feel the hot energy burn him severely, and his aura was taking a long time to heal itself. He charged at Wash again, who took out his combat knife and slashed down the Bullfaunus back. Adam then swung Wilt at Wash but missed, so he took Blush and fired several rounds with one hitting Wash in the shoulder. Carolina then fired several rounds from her pistol, with Adam backflipping to dodge each shot. He then did a spin kick towards Wash's head, knocking him out. Wash, Carolina shouted, before staring down at Adam. Like the rest of you humans. Adam sneered, weak and pathetic. Wash got up, and looked at both Adam and Carolina. He had his battle rifle out ready for action, but something wasn't right. Wash was shaking slightly as he looked around. Carolina. He muttered, where are we? What? Carolina asked, Wash, what are you talking about? We're supposed to stop the insurrection. Wash said, suddenly serious, the director ordered us to find the sarcophagus. We could get moved up on the leaderboard. Oh no, she muttered in fear, Wash, listen to me. Wash rolled his head back before looking straight, huh? Carolina, you're supposed to be dead. Wash, Carolina said to him worryingly, wake up Gah. She was hit in the head by Adam before the Bullfaunus ran off towards the north entrance. Carolina then looked at Wash, who pointed his rifle at her. You better tell how the fuck you survived, ow. Wash then toppled by Locus, who held him down. The needle. Locus shouted, he needs his medication. I don't have it. Carolina replied, Doc has it. I have what? Doc asked as he, Lopez, and Donut ran up to them. The medication now. Locus barked at him. Doc quickly brought a needle and gave it to Carolina, who then stuck it in Wash's neck and injected the medicine. Doc then ran over and knelt down by Wash. We got this. O'Malley said to them, "Go after him." Carolina nodded at the medic and ran off after Adam, followed by Locus. While Lopez and Donut stayed behind. Pav change. Roman Torchwick. Torchwick and Neo had then regrouped with Adam back at the village entrance. A bullhead had been waiting for them. "Well, they're definitely not huntsmen," Adam said to Associate. "Indeed," Torchwick replied, "Nice fella if ya tell me. Let's get out of here." As the trio were boarding their hijacked transport, a figure grabbed onto Torchwick as the ship took off. Neo tried to jump out and assist him, but Adam kept her from doing so. "Keep her steady," Adam shouted to the pilot. The figure turned out to be Caboose, who delivered several blows to Torchwick. The mob boss then fired a dust round from his cane, knocking him back slightly. The blue soldier then took out his rifle and fired at Torchwick. As this was happening, Adam went to the pilot, "I got this. Go help Torchwick." The pilot got without saying a word, and Adam took the controls. Caboose continued firing at Torchwick until he noticed the pilot standing at the bullhead's entrance. He stopped shooting. The eyes were the same. It was her. He couldn't tell what she looked like, all he saw was her eyes. Torchwick took advantage of this and fired a round of fire dust at Caboose, which hit the blue soldier, causing him to flip in the air and hit the ground. "Oof. That's gotta hurt," Torchwick quipped as he started to walk towards Caboose. But he stopped suddenly and looked at something at his feet, a pendant of a silver rose connected to a chain. Torchwick picked up the pendant and examined it. He knew exactly who it belonged to. "Interesting pendant you have here, my boy," Torchwick said to Caboose, as he was getting up. "That doesn't belong to you." Caboose responded, "Indeed you are correct." Torchwick said to him, "It doesn't belong to you either. It belongs to Little Red." "You know her?" Caboose asked in shock. "Oh, I do," Torchwick replied. "In fact, she has caused me a lot of trouble. I can't imagine why." Caboose shot back, "Well, she and her team won't be a problem for much longer." Torchwick announced, "In fact, you have given more reason to hunt her down." "I won't let you do that," Caboose muttered. "Prove it then." The two stared at one another until Caboose took out his pistol and fired at Torchwick. The bullet hit his leg. The pilot then sent a flame of fire at Caboose, who rolled out of the way and fired his assault rifle at her. The rest of the Reds and Blues arrived and fired at the bullhead. But Torchwick managed to get inside the ship, dropping the pendant in the process, and the ship flew away. "Damn it," Tucker hissed, "is everyone alright?" "We're good," Simmons replied, "Wash is still out." Tucker then looked at Caboose. "Caboose, is everything alright?" "He knows," Caboose replied. Tucker looked at him confused. "What?" "That guy, Torchwick, he knows RWBY." Caboose replied, "She's a threat to him." The Reds and Blues then realized that seeing their friends was gonna have to wait. Chapter 6. Converging Interests. Remnant, Kingdom of Vale, Beacon Academy. Pav. Professor Ozpin. Premise. As the Reds and Blues debate over the threat of Torchwick and the White Fang, several new factions take an interest into the Blood Gulch crew. Beacon Academy stood as a sign of hope to humanity in four kingdoms of Vale, Vacuo, Mistral, and Atlas. The Academy, along with Shade, Haven, and Atlas, worked to teach young men and women to become huntsmen and protect humanity from the creatures of Grimm. A day of peace was coming soon, the vital festival, and celebration of culture, and other stuff from each kingdom. This year, it was hosted in Vale and big preparations were to be made as soon as possible. Within the tallest tower of Beacon Academy sat a man with messy white hair. He wore a black dress suit and overcoat with a green scarf. A pair of glasses were on his face as he examined his large scroll. "Professor Ozpin, the headmaster of Beacon Academy. And you're sure there was nothing there, Kiro?" Ozpin asked the man on his screen. "I'm sure, Oz." Kiro replied, "The Queen has been silent for a while now. Ever since we found Amber, nothing else has happened." Ozpin sighed heavily. "All right. But there is something I want to know," Kiro muttered, causing Ozpin to perk up slightly. "Go on," Ozpin replied. "Several days ago, a large village in northern Sanis was attacked by a White Fang battalion," Kiro explained. "Well, the areas far away from Vale are a good place to cause harm." Ozpin muttered. "Was it a small force?" "No, it wasn't," Kiro replied. "In fact, it was led by Adam Taurus, the leader of the White in Vale." "Intriguing," Ozpin muttered. The attack was so massive, that Grimm started making their way into the village. Kiro continued, that was, until help arrived. What kind of help? Ozpin asked. Well, here's the catch. I don't actually know who it was. Kiro explained, eyewitness reports claim that whoever they were, they looked like Atlas military. Ozpin rubbed his chin, well, Ironwood did say that he was coming to Beacon. Perhaps he stopped to help these people. He didn't Oz. Kiro replied, "'Cause I just got off the phone with James, and he didn't even know what I was talking about. I have video footage courtesy of some of the villagers of these soldiers. They're blurry, but they're something. I'll send them to you now." "That'll work," Ozpin said to him. "Alright, see you around Oz." Kiro replied before ending the call. Once the call ended, the elevator door opened and out stepped a woman around Ozpin's age. She had light blonde hair tied into a bun with several strands hanging loose. She wore a white blouse with cuffs, black skirt, and heels. A black and purple cape was on her back, and a riding crop firmly in her grasp. Her overall appearance looked like a witch. "Well, I finally got the cafeteria cleaned up after the whole food fight incident," she huffed as she walked up to Ozpin's desk. "Professor?" she asked him. Ozpin muttered before he took notice of her. "Oh, Glinda. Sorry, I just got off the phone with Kiro. Said he found something." "About her?" Glinda asked. "No," Ozpin replied, "something else. A village up north was attacked by the White Fang. Several individuals of military appearance saved the townsfolk." Glinda scoffed, "Ironwood had to have something to do with this." "I think not," Ozpin explained. "Kiro said he talked with Ironwood, and he claims he knows nothing about it." Glinda crossed her arms, "So who do you think it was?" Ozpin placed his scroll on his desk and several holographic images appeared in the room. Each image was slightly blurry, but showed either Grimm of members of the White Fang getting slaughtered by what appeared to armored soldiers. "These are images Kiro sent us," Ozpin explained, "not the best evidence, but they get the job done." "Did Kiro tell you how many soldiers were at the village?" Glinda asked as she examined a picture of a pink-color soldier. "Unfortunately no," replied Ozpin, "but from these photos, I suspect that there are at least 12 soldiers." "They look familiar," Glinda muttered. "Indeed they do," Ozpin replied. Glinda looked at him. "You don't think?" "I do." Ozpin cut her off. "We'll explain this to James when he gets here." Pav change. The Reds and Blues. It had been several days since the Reds and Blues saved the small town from the White Fang and the Grimm. Afterwards, the two teams made their way south, gathering intel, and anything that was resourceful about Remnant. But their overall plans were now at a complete stop. While in the village, they had an encounter with someone who had the mad eye on RWBY, Roman Torchwick. Apparently, he is a wanted criminal and domestic terrorist charged with theft and destruction of private property. He had friends in powerful places and won't stop until his goals were achieved. The Reds and Blues were now residing in an abandoned village. It was slightly bigger, and didn't appear to attack abandoned from either Grimm or a White Fang raid. Rather, it just seemed semi-constructed and left alone. The village itself was funny enough, surrounded by snowy boxed canyon. The perfect place to make a base. Carolina was watching over Wash, who had just taken another dose of his medication. "So I thought I was back in my freelancer days?" he asked as he held his neck. "Yeah," Carolina replied, "you nearly shot me." Wash looked down at the ground. "I'm sorry." "Don't be," Carolina assured him, "you did fine." "Are you sure?" Wash asked her. Carolina was silent for a moment. "I'm sure." "Hey lovebirds," Griff said as he and Simmons walked up to them, "how's the neck holding up?" "In the condition I'm in," Wash muttered. "Foobar." "Damn," Simon replied, "sorry to hear that. I don't think I'll be able to whip up an antidote in time. And with Dr. Gray back on chorus, I don't think we'll get her medication in a while." Griff added. "Did any of you notice when we tried fighting those three crazy guys, we couldn't injure them?" Carolina asked the three. "Oh that," Griff questioned, "that was their aura." "Their aura," Carolina repeated. "From what we learned from Team RWBY, aura is a manifestation of one's soul." Simmons explained, "It's kinda like the energy shields built into our armors. But aura is more natural, and can heal wounds." That last sentence caught Carolina attention. "What did you say?" "What did I say?" Simmons repeated, "Didn't you hear me?" That last sentence. Carolina said to him, "Say it again." Aura is more natural, and heals wounds. Simmons trailed off, "No way." "Yeah way." Later. The Reds and Blues were all sitting in their new common room command center. A large holotable with several seats surrounding it. Red team sat on one side, blue team on the other. Tucker, on the other hand, sat at the head, wearing a white powdered wig, and holding a small hammer. "I now call this red and blue meeting to order," he said in a funny British accent. "Hey, Judge Kavanaugh," Griff shouted, "drop the act." Fine." Tucker groaned as he tossed the wig aside. "Now, our mission to see Team RWBY cause some shit, has to be unfortunately postponed." Both teams, minus the freelancers and Locus, all groaned. "Look guys, I'm sorry but now we have a problem," Tucker explained. Carolina pulled up a hologram of one of the three individuals they encountered a few days ago. Roman Torchwick. Carolina muttered darkly, "Wanted for murder, theft, destruction of both private and military property. Now a domestic terrorist. How about that?" "Okay," Sarge replied, "but what does he have to do with RWBY? We know those two didn't hit off very well." According to the records Simmons recovered while hacking Vale's communication tower. Tucker began, which by the way, good job Simmons. RWBY met Torchwick while the former was robbing a dust shop in the city of Vale. Torchwick got away similar to how he did the other day with us. Carolina then continued, "Several months ago, the entirety of Team RWBY encountered Torchwick at the dock in Vale. They managed to sabotage quite a lot of their property in the process." "Impressive," Locus muttered, "most impressive. Well, their skills definitely painted a target on all of their backs." Doc spoke up. "What about that Red Bull bastard?" Kai asked Tucker, "Or that ice cream chick?" "We're still looking through the files Kai." Simmons explained, "It's gonna take some time. So, what do we do now?" Donut asked the million-dollar question. Everyone looked at Tucker for an answer. "Well, like I said we were originally gonna find Team RWBY and cause some shit. But I'm starting to think we should just cause some serious shit." "What are you thinking Blue?" Sarge asked him. "We're going to war fellas," Tucker announced, "against Torchwick and the White Fang." "Hot damn," Sarge shouted, "finally. I get to fight. Someone go get my shotgun." Wash on the other hand, had a different take on the idea. "Are you guys sure about this?" "We are," Carolina replied, "besides, it will tie in with your condition." "My condition?" Wash questioned. Carolina then spoke, "The people of Remnant have aura, which is capable of healing wounds at tremendous speeds. If we can capture a White Fang soldier, maybe even Torchwick, we could." "Okay, stop." Tucker cut her off, "Just stop." "What?" Carolina muttered. "Carolina, we can't just take someone's aura." Simmons explained, "That's like Nazi experimentation, alien abduction shit, meets, Pet Cemetery. Maybe it doesn't have to be." Carolina countered his claim, "I found out from the files you got from the CCT tower that people can transfer their aura." Carolina, Wash spoke up, "It's still an unnatural idea. Besides, we don't know what will happen to aura when it becomes one with my body. I am not from Remnant. We have to try." Carolina insisted. Simmons sighed, "Are you sure about this?" "I'm sure." Carolina replied. Tucker. Everyone looked at the Aqua soldier for an answer. "Fine, but we do it humanely. Nothing creepy." Got it?" "Got it," Carolina answered. "All right." Tucker muttered, "Let's get to work." POV change. City of Vale. Within a dark warehouse in the industrial district of Vale. A large portion of the White Fang was using it as a base of operations to conduct various attacks on the city and its inhabitants. Roman Torchwick was there, along with Neo and Adam. Torchwick was overlooking every goon that was either working or conversing with one another. Adam was leaning against a support beam sharpening wilt, while Neo was sitting on a storage crate. A voice interrupted their peace and quiet, "Heard you got into a fight. Why'd y'all run off?" The three looked and noticed two individuals walking up to them. One was a boy with fair skin, messy silver hair and gray eyes. He wore a black and gray jumpsuit with fingerless gloves and combat boots, the latter of which had ammunition straps on them. Next to him was a girl with dark skin, short mint green hair, with two longer sections in the back, and red eyes. She wore a brown crop top and brown and white pants. She had two pistol-like weapons on her back. Adam sneered at the too sudden appearance. We didn't run, and we especially don't need your idiotic comments, Mercury. Don't listen to him. The girl spoke up. He's still jealous that we couldn't go on your mission. That's because it would sabotage your boss's objectives at Beacon, my dear. Torchwick replied as he turned around. Adam grunted, maybe we could have used the help. I lost nearly all of my brothers. What happened? The girl asked curiously. Well, if you must know, Emerald. Adam said to dryly, we nearly had the entire town under our control. Torchwick was gonna round up all the dust, and I was gonna kill the humans. Until those colorful bastards from Atlas showed up and ruined everything. Truthfully, I personally don't think they were Atlas soldiers. Torchwick muttered. What makes you say that? Adam sneered. Because I agree, a seductive voice replied. Another figure walked to them. It was a woman with fair skin, long black hair that draped over her left eye, and amber eyes. She wore a dark red dress with gold accents. Cinder, my dear, Torchwick said to her, welcome. I was wondering when you would show up again. Cinder looked at Torchwick before looking at everyone else. I believe Torchwick here has some information about our colorful new friends. Everyone then looked at Torchwick for answers. While the three of us were in that village, Torchwick explained, I had the pleasure of speaking with one of those walking tin cans, the blue one to be exact. It appears that he has history with. Torchwick held up Caboose's pendant to show everyone. Quote. Little Red, the pathetic child leader of Blake's Huntress team. Adam growled. Those ladies? Mercury questioned. Great. This information is surprising to say the least. Cinder spoke up, but we must be cautious. They aren't a threat, not a pressing one at least. What? Adam questioned. Why? They will play their cards carefully. Cinder explained, and when they do, we will crush them. And this is the end of part 3 of this What If. Do not forget to leave a comment down below, subscribe to this channel.